Singapore. How's it treating you, and what's it like being so good at what you do that you get sent around the world to do it?
Singapore's actually been a lot of fun. The last few years, I've tried to do a better job of enjoying the places that I go. I think up to that point, I was in a lot of hotel rooms in a lot of cool places. Not that I'm looking at retirement right now, but I definitely have a lot fewer years left than I had behind me. So, trying to enjoy it. I've had a lot of fun. I've gone and checked out the city and kind of bounced around. It's been a lot of fun.
You're on a tough run, but you've come back from dropping 3 before. What did you learn from that experience when you were down there before and you totally turned it around?
I think this one's a little bit different position. Before, when I was early on in my career, I think that's a point that gets missed. I do have a good chunk of losses, but a lot of them are very, very early in my career. And I just wasn't very fucking good back then. I was making it through a lot of those fights with just will and determination, and this is a little bit different. I've been a bit inconsistent. I think at times I show up and I think it's clear I can beat anybody in the world. And sometimes I show up and I shit the bed. And so I've just really been working on my consistency. I think that's really what it comes down to, is my focus and just trying to bring the best product every time. I think as I've gotten older, I've had to adjust some of my training and my approaches and some of my recovery stuff. So it's just a learning process, man.
Ryan Spann put together a couple of really impressive victories and then submitted in his last fight, first round. Which Ryan Spann are you expecting here?
That's kind of Ryan Spann in a nutshell, isn't it? He's fairly inconsistent himself. It's just, if you let Ryan do what he wants to do, you're going to get a phenomenal product out of him. It's the type of fighter that he is. He's a very good downhill fighter. Once he gets rolling, it's tough to stop that. So, I don't know. I don't really care so much what he's bringing. I don't really have any expectations. I've worked really, really hard on the things that I want to do, and I really haven't thought so much about Ryan, to be very honest with you.
Next question, please, Madam.
Answering, so you seems like a reason why keep fighting because of your journey to this journey. But this point, are you fighting against you fought against the global grappling match, 2 months ago. So what kind of this experience to give you anything for as a MMA fighter?
Yeah, the whole reason I'm still here and still on this journey is the title. The second that I think that I can't win it, or maybe it's too far out of reach, then I'll be done doing this. The Glover thing was more a way for me to stay in shape and have something to work towards. Just with everything I have going on with my family and all the other things that I have going on outside of the octagon, sometimes I do tend to get a little bit distracted. So the taking the Glover thing was just a way for me to have fun, stress-free competition. It's not very stressful doing jiu-jitsu. I want to win. I'm a competitor, so I don't like losing. So I just wanted a reason to have a goal, I guess. I needed something to continue to walk forward, or walk towards every day. And I think that really helped me, because I didn't really have a training camp. I fought, it took a little bit of time off, got right into the training for the Glover thing, and then transferred right into getting ready for this fight. So I didn't really have much of a break, which was really nice. It was nice to not have to get into shape. I was just already in shape.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You have a nice history with Glover and some pretty historic moments. How much would it intrigue you to face Alex Pereira? Because in terms of your goal, he's perfectly placed, and it would be intriguing maybe to fight, Glover's student friend, training partner there.
Yeah, I think that'd be a lot of fun. I like that fight. I like what Alex has brought to the division. I have a lot of respect for him and his game. And I just think it'd be a really fun fight. I think it would bring a little bit of intrigue to the fight just because of Glover and I's history. Anything I can do to get a win over Glover, I would absolutely do, as much as I like that guy. And after the grappling thing, you know, him and I and his wife and mine sat and had some beers and talked about, you know, potential matchups with me and Alex. And you know, it is what it is. It's all business, and we're all martial artists and competitors. It's nothing personal at times, obviously, especially, you know, given the history of this fight, things do get personal at times. But between Glover and I and his team, it's nothing but love.
You've been flourishing on the analytical side. What was your take-up from the Yan fight with Alex?
Well, it was a really close fight. You know, I think probably 50% of the people, you know, had Alex, and I think the other half probably had Yan. I thought that Alex looked pretty good. And to be fair, I thought Yan looked pretty good as well. He was able to do a lot of things that Jan Blachowicz typically does to be successful. I think that Alex had a little bit of an eye-opening moment, though, at 205. He's not the large, scary monster that he was at middleweight. He's a fairly normal dude. Now, because he's so technical and has such an incredible striking game, he's always going to be special. But in terms of just his size and power, he doesn't stand out amongst all of the 205ers. And I don't think that Alex Pereira is more powerful and explosive than Alexander Rakic. He's not going to be stronger than a guy like Ankalaev, or, you know what I mean? Like, these dudes are big, powerful, hard-hitting dudes, every single one of them. So because he's such a good striker, he's still going to be special. But it's not going to be just his power and his strength that's going to push him over the top anymore. But I thought he looked good. I thought that his conditioning looked really good, especially at altitude in Utah. I think we've seen Jan Blachowicz had a really tough time with that after the first round, and grappling heavy. He looked really gassed after the first. His takedown defense was improved. He looked good even when he was taken down. He had his back taken. He fought well from the bottom, which makes a lot of sense because he does spend a lot of time with Glover, and you're not going to find a much better MMA grappler than that. So it looked to me like he was improving. Jan looked like the same Jan that we've seen time and time again, but you know, at 38 or 39 years old, I don't know how much more improving Jan has to do. But with that said, I thought Jan looked really good as well.
We've seen changes at 205 ever since John Jones went up, having held the belt so long. The best man doesn't always hold the belt, but who in your mind is the best in this division right now?
Wow, that's a great question. Man, I don't know, because I think out of the entire top 10, everyone has their strengths and weaknesses. You know, Jamal Hill is a great, incredible fighter, but at times we've seen him taken down and had some issues in the grappling. Striking wise, he's really special. It's nothing that he's ever been taught, I don't think. It's just things he's adapted over time. The things that he does are just very natural and instinctual that make him hard to deal with. I think Jan Blachowicz is very, very well. He's probably one of the most well-rounded guys. But you know, kind of at this point, he's having some issues, obviously, in the Ankalaev fight, and then as well in the Pereira fight, with maybe just his gas and his output. Pereira has a huge hole in his game when it comes to the grappling. I don't think that's a secret. I think Alexander Rakic is probably right up there with one of the better guys. The only loss that he's taken has been due to injury against Jan Blachowicz, and he looked really good in that fight. I would love to see a fight with Alexander Rakic and Yuri Prohaska. I think that those are probably the two guys at the top of the division in terms of skill. But Alex is, Rakic has got some work to do to get a win after coming off that loss with injury.
In other sports, we often see youngsters explode, but in this game, it seems like experience is telling. You look at who holds the belt, men and women, and people in their mid-30s, right? You faced most people in the top of this division, so how important is your experience going to be in achieving your goal?
I think it's really important. You don't know what you don't know, right? So I think that's what some of the younger fighters run into is it's a lot of the unknown, and they don't really know what they're getting themselves into at times. And even in this, I've lost 2 in a row. I've been there before, you know what I mean? It's not the end of the world. it sucks. I hate losing. It's the worst thing in the world to me. But I know how to come back from it, and I think that experience just in itself, and just being in bad spots. I've been in. There's not a position in the octagon that you can put me in, or a circumstance, or whatever that I haven't seen before, and I would be comfortable there. So I think that helps a lot. And I think that even in this matchup with Ryan Spann, I think that that's the difference. It's my experience and my fight IQ. Physically, Ryan Spann has an advantage over me everywhere, and he knows it, and I know it, and I told him about it the last time. He's bigger, stronger, faster. He's more explosive. He hits harder. He's probably more conditioned just because of the miles. He's gonna absorb damage better than I am probably, but like mentally, it doesn't really matter if you can't put it all together. You know, it's all great to have a fucking Ferrari sitting there, but like if it just sits there, you know what I mean? It's not very fast. So, you know, I think that is the difference with me and a lot of people.
Thank you. Do we have time for one more question? Does anyone have a question? All right.